To Vlogtober episode 3. On October 3rd, he asked me what day it was. October 3rd, Vlogtober 3, 2018 was a wild one. That was when I witnessed a mass shooting, and I just want to remember the people who passed away. One was that day and one was later, you know, in the hospital. And that was for all the scariest experience I've been through. And I was just like, you know, not being shot at, but like I can't imagine what was going through those people's like minds because of how scared I was. These people were just doing their job and got murdered. Like, it's awful, awful, awful. But we're gonna do a mystical morning, but I did want to talk about that first. I did have a lot of dreams last night. I did sleep quite well. My house is currently 66 degrees, which is like 10 degrees cooler than usual. But I did watch Nightmare Before Christmas before I went to bed, and I do think that had some of an impact on my dreams. So there was first a book club. I don't really remember that one too much because I did wake up in the middle of the night and typed in on my phone. Then there was one where I was looking at a telescope, and I do not like going outside at nighttime, like when I'm all by myself, like in my yard. I'm out in the country, and I don't like it. I don't like that feeling. I feel like I'm being watched. It's not for me. But I was with an old friend who I wish that I still had contact with. I mean, obviously I could just go message this person, but that's just, I think it'd be kind of weird if I did that. But there's somebody who there's two people in this dream sequence we're going to talk about that are kind of like that I wish I could go back to that time in my life because I had so much fun back then. But I was with this person and we had a telescope, and I was looking, I saw like a rocket ship, like not like, you know, like a rocket ship, not a UFO, not an alien one, go across the sky. Next we were transporting, not like me and other people were transporting dogs and cats to be spayed and neutered. Next, this one is like it was back kind of with the telescopes. I think the dog thing might have been separate. I was with that same person, and we were in the backyard, and this mist, you know, like that comes in the morning, came, and it would hurt when the drops started landing on our skin. It'd be like prickly, and we had to run inside, and it was just very like painful. It kind of reminds me of something you would see in like Catching Fire. Next, the last one that I literally like just woke up from was I was in West Virginia. It was like a road trip. I think it was with my school. We were like middle school, and the teacher that was with us was one of the most like impactful teachers that I've had. And of course, for Ed's gonna be me, I went out the door. So that was just a really like feel good one, being on a road trip with people I went to school with. Even though like some of the people weren't at this school where that teacher taught, so I don't know, it was really as a mishmash. So I don't know which one we're gonna look up. I think we're gonna see if there's one for Mist, because that one was like a painful one. Mr. Haze means lack of clarity, as in darkness, only less severe. Other than that, see steam and fog. So it's a symbol for Neptune. But we also had a telescope right before that, so maybe I thought I had clarity, but I didn't. The cards, yeah, I do think they definitely pulled true yesterday, because I was, at how there was a part that was about releasing pain. So I did have my migraine, gradually go away. Like, I don't have it anymore, knock on wood. That was, pain was being released, and it was very, like, in the, like, post-dome phase. I didn't know there was a term for it, but there is. That means after the migraine, I feel like I have the flu or something. I've never had the flu, again, knock on wood, but I feel like I've been hit by a bus. Like, I was just sore, kind of nauseous, and kind of like, I still feel kind of weak, so I can't wait to go get a meal after I go record this. But that was like what I was feeling. I was scared. I'm like, what if something's wrong with me? When it's like, no, it's hormones cause the migraine. It's nothing serious, but in my mind, we have to be irrational. So that did play true yesterday. But let's ask the cards, what do I need to know about my day today? Let's get these guys out of the box. A really big spread today. I don't have a lot of room. We had the Three of Visions, which is the Three of Cups reverse. We have dancing bears. Dancing bears. Let's see what this means. On that card, you saw we had this like group of bears. They're dancing, but a big emphasis on it being a group. So we drew it in the reverse. That means independence, alone time, hardcore partying. I have no plans on doing that. That is not me. And then it says, quote, three's a crowd. I've never seen a quote being used to describe a card, so that's interesting. So it seems like I'm really just going to be alone today, be independent today, and I'm okay with that. That's a-okay. But sometimes I can get antsy if I'm not hearing from anybody, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need communication in my life. But let's ask the cards, can you give me more clarity on what the Three of Visions is trying to tell me? And we have the Ten of Boons. So this is the Ten of Pentacles. And this, again, is like a celebration. I know I've drawn this card before. We have all these people, they're like at a feast. They have food. There's even a pup under the table. It looks like a wolfhound. And there's people dancing, there's music, they're having a good time. So kind of going in with that partying theme again. The Ten of Boons, which again is the Ten of Pentacles, means wealth, legacy, family, and stability. So when I asked for more clarity on the Ten of Visions, independence, alone time, hardcore party, and three's a crowd, I was like, in what way? I need more clarity on that. And it told me with family, legacy, what was the other word that we had here? Stability, wealth. And those ways I'm going to be alone. I don't know. I'm not really understanding. Maybe they're going to be the ones that are not around, but my friends are going to be the ones who I'm hearing from today. I don't know, but that is my mystical morning. I'm about to go to Goodwill, and then I'm going to go to Starbucks. I actually don't know if I have hot chocolate on my teeth, so if I do, I am sorry. I cannot see the view on the camera, the viewfinder. But I have 2 updates. So 1984, I got to the halfway point in, and yeah, it's not for me. It's like a 2-star, because I do think there is good in it, because there are so many like thought-provoking quotes where you're just like, or I'm like, yep, that is spot on, will really make you think. It's very reflective, but the writing style is like the complete opposite of writing styles. Like on the Kindle, some paragraphs will go on for 6 pages. No, I like a page to have at least 3 paragraphs on it. No, we can't do the 6-page thing. That is not for me. And it's just this world. I wish there was more world building. Now, I know this isn't supposed to be an epic sci-fi, an epic dystopian. It's supposed to be like a critique on government, on communism, socialism, fascism, maybe, on all of that kind of thing. It's not supposed to, the focus isn't supposed to be this world. But I'm like, how did we get here? I have so many questions. We're thrown right in with that cold open, and it's just not for me. But I did get to 34% in volume 0, so I've read the first 2 stories, and they're both like 3-star vibes, where again, they're good, but just not new favorites. They're not great. The first, actually both of them, I have found characters, whether it be main or side characters, that are just extremely relatable, and I feel like I'm reading these stories at the right time in my life. Like, this is when I was supposed to read them. But in our second story, which is Exit Strategy, that is so wild. It's like there's this website where you can arrange for when you die, and it's mainly like businessmen, you know, like CEOs, like, you know, very rich people who are doing it, or signing up for it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, what if something like that really existed? Like, that is just crazy to think about. So this one is good, where it's 3-star vibes. 1984 is 2-star vibes because it's not doing anything for me. So this one I would recommend, and then 1984, I recommend that one with a maybe, but that's all for right now. But the NHL Face-Off show came out. Thank you, Seth Jarvis, for posting on Instagram, because I would have had no idea that it was coming out today. So I am going to watch the first episode, which I think is about Brady to Chuck. I don't know how many episodes I'm gonna watch today, because I do want to watch Mean Girls tonight, because it is October 3rd, which is Mean Girls Day. I got to 48%, I think is what it was. What is going on there? I know, I need to stop looking at my hair in the videos. Like, we just have to accept that it gets crazy. But I got to read outside in the 6 o'clock hour, and I really love to read at that time of day, just because that's when it really cools down. Like, it's 70 degrees right now, so it was nice to get to read out there. And that's a shadow. Okay, but I got to page 271. I'm practically at the halfway point, and we're going to go through my thoughts on the reformatory for the day. And something like, so Miss Lottie, I'm loving Miss Lottie in the book today. We got a lot of her, but how she was saying, like, when you pray, you need to make those prayers specific. And I've never heard that before. I mean, I might have some point in my life, but at least not recently. And I thought that was kind of interesting, because like, when I do the tarot readings and all that, people are like, you need to specify what you're asking. But even with prayers, so I'm like, I need to say my prayers specifically to really get my point across, because I'm always like, God knows what I'm talking about. I don't need to be specific about it, but maybe I do need to be specific. I do think he knows what I'm talking about, but still. Then it's becoming so obvious that Gloria is still a child. She's 16, because she's like, you know, getting a rude awakening of how the world really is, and how it's really against her being a young black woman. That, I mean, we talked about with misbehaving at the crossroads. Like, you have everything against you. The system is against you, especially in Jim Crow era Florida, that it's extremely difficult, and she can't do everything that she wants to do and that she thinks she should be able to do. And she's like, if she was like the white woman that she works for, she'd be able to do all this stuff. She's like, but she's not brave enough, so she can't even help her. So Gloria has to do it herself. And again, being a black young woman just adds an extra mile to it. It makes it more difficult for her to be able to do that. And she's really starting to realize that, and realizing how this world works. Also, this was just one kind of like technical thing that I saw where I'm like, I think that might be wrong. So they are near the town of Marianna, Florida, which I had to look up. I had never heard of, but it is in like the Florida Panhandle, near like Alabama, that part of Florida. And so they say that because, you know, the dad is in Chicago, so when he calls, they're like, he's 2 hours behind Florida time, which anywhere in Florida, Chicago's not 2 hours behind. I mean, I don't know if it could have been in 1950, if the time zones changed or anything like that, but even if they're in the Panhandle, they're in the same time zone as Chicago, so I did notice that. But I'm like, maybe Gloria was told wrong. I don't know if this is a typo, but yeah, Chicago is not 2 hours behind Florida in any part of the state of Florida. I'm loving Miss Lottie. She's such a like old Southern lady, like the way she talks and everything, and just her like outlook at life. I love her. She's one of my favorite characters. I always love like the grandma character. She's the godmother, she's not the grandmother, but I always love those characters. That we're seeing is fairness, and that life isn't fair, particularly in this time period, and for black young women. With Gloria is where we're seeing that, but obviously with black people in general in the Jim Crow era in the South, that life isn't fair, and just in a lot of different manners, not just, you know, straight up obvious, but it's like, people will get judged for the actions of their parents. I mean, we do not know if Robert Sr., if he committed these crimes. I mean, it doesn't look like he did, so we don't know all that, but in the community they assume that he did, and so all his children are looked down upon, and just how life is not fair seems to be a really big theme here. It is a horror book, and we do have ghosts and haints. But this is also all very true. This kind of stuff, like, take out the supernatural elements. This was actually happening. This is based on the Dozier School of Boys, which was in Marianna, Florida, as I said. That these kind of stories were really happening and are still happening. Maybe not in the way of a reformatory school, but somebody going to prison unjustly, you know, with not a lot of evidence, or the trial wasn't fair. Again, bringing fairness back into it. That this is a very real story, and that in itself is very scary. And now I'm wondering if one of our characters is even real. If they are a ghost or not, or if they're human, I do not know. So those are all my thoughts on the reformatory. I got I think it was like 21% in the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. So I'm not going to do a full update on that yet. But speaking of updates, 23andMe did a new update where it's, you know, so many, on the one, because I looked at my grandma's account, it said so many like Americans and Europeans have taken the test now that the detail, I skimmed through this, so that it can just be more refined. There's like a 98% chance that this is like what you are. So we are going to see, for me, what this update looks like. So before it would just say like British Isles, and now it breaks it down to like English, Scottish, Welsh, Irish as well. So we're gonna go on my account here and see what it would be really awkward if my account hadn't got the update yet, but I think that it should. So I click the ancestry feature. Maybe I should screen record this so y'all can see it. Okay, here we go. It is loading, which, oh my gosh, my technology has been so slow this week. I don't know if it was something with the flares from the sun or I just have bad technology. But yeah, we're loading. Since it's taking so long to load, I'm not going to do the screen record because I don't know how long it's going to take. I'll just take screenshots so y'all can see what the results end up looking like. Okay, so your results just got an upgrade. We've released version 7 of Ancestry Composition, featuring a major expansion of reference populations in Europe and the Americas, plus a new, more precise algorithm for calculating your ancestry percentages. Explore what's new. I guess we'll click this so I can but okay, maybe it was a bad idea to click that. So it says, welcome to our most comprehensive update yet, with nearly 4 times more populations in Europe, 6 times more in the Americas. Plus, we've improved the accuracy for everyone by updating our algorithm to remove non-specific broadly ancestry. I hated the broadly ancestry because I'm like, what does this mean? So yes, we're just gonna dive in now and see what we have here. We have British and Irish of 97.3%, with 85.1% of that being English, 6.6% being Scottish, 4% being Welsh, 1.6% being Irish. I am 1% Spanish and Portuguese, 1% Portuguese and Galician. Is that how you say that? I don't know where Galicia is. So my bad on that for not knowing that. I'm 0.9% Western European, 0.4% French, 0.3% Swiss, Southwestern German, and Western Austrian. To me, that is still like a broadly thing because it's a wide array of area. I'm 0.2% Austrian and Southern German. I am 0.5% Nordic, with that 0.5% being Finnish. And my trace ancestry is 0.3% Nigerian, which, as we know, that's not European or American. So that is everything on this new update. And then we have my European disport, I don't know how to say that word. But I am very close to Southern Coastal Plain Colonial Americans, which, yeah, that's what I am. Then close to Coastal South Carolina Colonial Americans, close to early British Irish Americans from Florence and Williamsburg counties, close to Independence County early British Irish Americans. I don't know Independence County. I'm not familiar. It says Arkansas. Maybe a lot of people in that county in Arkansas have similar ancestors that I do. I don't know. And then close to South Carolina Sandhills early British Irish Americans. So those are my results, and that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it all the way through, leave a ghost emoji in the comments below, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell to be notified when all my videos go live. I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Happy vlog's over.